My name is Sean Rogers. I've been doing speech and debate for all 4 years of high school. I've accumulated 58 individual championships over the course of that time. For a good while this year, I was the #1 ranked competitor in the United States of America. I won the Stanford Invitational this year in humorous interpretation.
And I'm Lucy Evans-Rippy, and I'm awesome.
Today, we're going to teach you how to do duo.
And a quick side note, we did very well in duo this year.
Lucy and I managed to snag 4th place at the Jack Howe Invitational at the beginning of the year, 1st place at the Monroe Invitational, and we semifinal at the Tournament of Champions.
So, Sean, tell me a little bit about what is duo?
Well, duo interpretation is unique among the interpretation events, which are the acting-oriented events within speech and debate, in that you have a partner, so you're not just a one-man show the entire time. You are working together with another person to create an awesome story. So duo interpretations are typically 8 to 10 minutes, and there are a couple rules that go along with those.
Yes, there are. We are going to get into those in just a second. They are very important.
You got a nice rag.
So, Lucy, why don't you give our audience the big 2 rules when it comes to duo interpretation?
I would love to. So they're the big 2 rules. The first one is that you can't make eye contact with your partner.
What?
So,
really?
Yeah, really. So instead of going like this, Sean and I would go like this. So, blah, 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 blah.
I'm not looking at you right now.
Yeah, I'm not
but
looking
we're
at
still
you
having a
either.
conversation.
That's correct. And the second big rule out of the 2 big rules is that you can't touch one another. I can't do that. Instead, I would go...
So if I want to give a handshake, we'd...
Nice to meet, but a lot better than that. And I would never advise doing a handshake because it never looks good. So those are the 2 main rules of duo. And if you...
Why are they the rules? No one really knows.
Yeah, there's not a really set reason for why these are the rules. They are just set in stone. They
seem to inspire creativity and make sure that the participants are doing the best they can to make the best piece possible with these restrictions in place. It kind of brings out the best in both competitors.
Exactly.
Again.
There ain't no hill or mountain we can
Again.
or mountain we can
Again.
mountain we can climb.
So at this point, I'm sure you're wondering, what makes a duo good?
I don't know.
So there's a lot of things that can make a duo good. The first being really cool blocking. There's a lot of different things that you can do to make your duo look cool or different from other people's and kind of stand out.
So we'll get into more examples of blocking and how to do good blocking later, but the primary objective of blocking within a duo is to show off how well you can fit within the parameters of not being able to touch your partner, but still create amazing and innovative blocking.
So another really important aspect of duo is the acting part of it. You have to be a good actor or at least really passionate about your acting. It's great to have an emotional arc within your piece.
Oh, this is real, okay? This is love.
But also allow for humor. So be good at portraying emotion well, be good at delivering jokes. And a second thing that I personally have realized throughout my time of duoing that is incredibly important is picking a partner that is right for you, that you can work with and you're willing to spend tremendous amounts of time with, and you won't get in arguments with, you won't be clashing in your ideas. You need to be able to work with a person that you choose, and hopefully you will create a beautiful bond out of your duo.
Because even though I dislike Lucy immensely,
and we hate each other,
we still can buckle down
and
get
work
some work
together.
done. One thing that my partner here briefly mentioned, but I want to go a little deeper on, is the story arc within a duo. So what audiences and judges really want to see from a duo interpretation is contrast. So what they want is a piece that perhaps brings out a few chuckles and laughs at the beginning, maybe makes them feel good, and then there's a downfall, right? It leads up to the climax where they feel something, perhaps they feel sadness, they feel anger, they feel fear even. And then there's a resolution, right? That's the classic kind of story arc. There's rising action, climax, falling resolution.
So now that we're done with the basics of duo, we're going to move on to how to cut and select a piece.
Phil Connors, I thought that was you.
So a very important part of duo is selecting the piece itself. So if you're looking for the easy way out, you can just go to Ian. He has thousands of pre-cut pieces, but you can also find a movie, a episode of a TV show, a book, a play that you like and you're interested in and you think has what we were just talking about, which is a good story arc and allows for the entire story to be told in 10 minutes. You can find something like that and cut that down and do it. We picked Groundhog Day, something we both love, and it took us years to cut it. And it did turn out fantastic, I hope. But it took a very, very, very long time.
One thing you want to think about when selecting a piece is selecting a piece that really resonates with you. One issue with picking one of the pre-cut scripts is, first of all, they're pretty well known usually, so judges will usually be able to recognize them. But two, you often don't have the same personal connection to a piece that was given to you versus a piece that you spent time cutting yourself. The first humorous interpretation I did was Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail because I love that movie to death. Groundhog Day is a movie that we both love, and so we felt that that was the best place to go. So when in terms of where to find pieces, it's really in your own head. It's movies and books that you love, because that's going to be the best source material, because it will have the best emotional backing from you at every step of the way, and you will want to do the piece justice, because if it's a movie that you enjoy, you want to be able to demonstrate that you enjoy the movie to people that maybe have never seen it before.
I'm a god.
So advice about cutting. One thing that makes it easier when it comes to duo is because usually duos center around two characters. So if you're picking a movie or a book that have two central characters but a lot of other things happen, you can most of the time just cut all of that other stuff out right away and basically focus on the two characters that the duo centers around. The most important part of that story arc, and something that will help when cutting a script, is the climax, because the climax is what the entire piece is leading up to, and it's what the entire resolution is trying to resolve. So when you pick a piece, determine what is the climax of that piece, and then center your cutting around building to that. So remember that interpretation events are 8 to 10 minutes. So I want to talk a little bit about the penalties of going under or over that time limit, because it's pretty important. So it's 8 to 10 minutes, but you do have a 30-second grace period. But once you pass the 10:30 mark, you even go 10:31, then you are unable to get the first rank in the round. So even if you're the best duo the judge has ever seen, you will be getting the 2. There isn't a rule about going under time, but
it doesn't look great.
Doesn't look too great if your piece only lasts for 6 minutes. You want the golden zone is 8 to 10 minutes, and I'd honestly say between 9 and 10 minutes is where you really want to shoot for.
So I'm going to be talking a little bit about characterization. Characterization is building your character. What kind of movement does your character do? What kind of voice does your character have? Does it have an accent? What kind of facial expressions does your character do, have, use, whatever? So when it comes to this, you can take inspiration from a character that is in this piece or in the role of maybe a movie that you're working with. So don't isolate yourself to just trying to be this one character. Allow yourself to build your own characterization.
What I wanted to say was, I think you're the kindest, sweetest, prettiest person I've ever met in my entire life. I don't think I've ever met someone who was nicer to people than you are. Frankly, I don't think I deserve someone like you. But no matter what happens tomorrow, or for the rest of my life, I'm happy now. Because I love you.
Popping is the process of switching between characters rapidly enough so the audience can distinguish that you are a different character. Here's an example from Groundhog Day, in which I don't pop to different characters, but I pop through different time phases in a suicide segment.
You put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb.
The reason you can only see me from the waist down is that popping is all in the legs. One thing that really makes popping really good are the knees and the feet. And a great pop is from here to here, like this. So with that method, you can go from a character who stands upright like this to a character who stands down here like this.
Can I buy you a drink?
So if you're looking for inspiration with your blocking, there's lots of pieces you can look at on the National Forensics League website, where there's tons and tons of final pieces with such cool blocking that you can look at and take inspiration from. Be a duo, be a person, be awesome! Woo!
We suggest to increase your bond with your duo partner, you go on trips like we did right now to the
Paris!
Hawaii!
Hawaii!
We
even went
to
to
an
an
amusement park. We even died and became spirits in the afterlife.
Make sure your partner is committed to the work you do. You don't want to be the only one who's trying on the piece. If you are, it will really hurt both of you. For me and my duo partner never does any work. I do everything, and that makes it really difficult. He gets by the fly of his pants. So,
Which is down.
which is always down.
all the way.
So
Always down.